Everyone thinks that athletes only care about winning, but a true winner is someone who can remain human despite intense training and fierce competition. And to prove it to you, we've collected some of the greatest moments of respect in sports. Be sure to watch to the end, and it'll definitely change the way you see athletes. Niels Vink just took Paralympic gold, and nothing can stop him from sharing this win with his coach. This guy has already run 100 marathons pushing a wheelchair in front of him. Because it's the only way his mother can feel alive again. Italian Alessandro Florenzi couldn't just celebrate a goal like everyone else. He wanted to share his joy, so he rushed over to the stands to his beloved grandmother. He received a yellow card for it, but next to her, it didn't matter. Jermaine Defoe's career has had many challenges, but the most difficult of them was losing his good luck charm, 6-year-old Bradley Lowery. The young boy spent all of his free time with the team as he battled an incurable disease. He eventually lost this battle, but Defoe mourned the child as if he were his own.
What I've been through previously with my dad.
For more than 40 years, Ginger Mark was the most devoted fan of the Dutch soccer club Feyenoord, until a disease left him with only a month to live. All he wanted was to see them practice one more time, but the team, along with 6,000 fans, turned this day into a farewell tribute to him. It even gave him the strength to stand up one last time. This may look like an ordinary touchdown, and then Marquise Goodwin drops to his knees, overcome with emotion. It turned out that just an hour before the game, his wife had lost their first child. All he could do now was pray for him. Alexander Sobolev has had many goals in his career, but none of them were as significant as the one dedicated to his recently deceased mother. Rugby star Jonah Lomu lived a short but decent life. Just look at all the love and respect that this stadium-sized brotherhood radiates as they perform one last haka for him. A single shot unexpectedly won this man $75,000, but that didn't thrill him half as much as the reaction of the legendary LeBron James. His support meant more than money. Bernardo Espineta had been the utility manager for the legendary Valencia Soccer Club for 55 years. When it came time to retire, the whole stadium saw him off like a true legend. This kid couldn't believe his luck when his favorite player signed a ball for him. So just imagine his shock when Josh Donaldson decided to play catch with him. "11-year-old Cadence Toots' coach promised to catch her no matter what. She trusted him with her life as if he were her own father, and he didn't let her down. This little girl tried her best to get her favorite player's attention, and she finally succeeded, but her father decided to make his sons happy first. Fortunately for her, Brett Connolly wasn't gonna give up. Victory was almost in Phil Wang's hands when he noticed that his opponent's car fell out of the race, trapping him underneath. Phil immediately abandoned the competition to do the right thing.
Go, look. Yeah, go. Go! Okay?
John Cena interrupted his match when he found out that 7-year-old Kiera Grindrod was in attendance. This girl had already won her greatest fight when she beat cancer,
but every single person outside the ring and around the world,
for which Cena wanted to personally congratulate her. Some young soccer players had lost not just a team member, but a true friend. By tradition, the team plays a farewell game where the fallen gets to score their final goal. Here's how a war vet with a prosthetic leg runs the 42-kilometer Boston Marathon. And it was all to show people in the same situation that their lives are not over, that they can do anything. Doctors allowed the very sick children from Rotterdam's Sophia Children's Hospital to attend a soccer match. Upon hearing of this, Excelsior fans decided to make this day unforgettable for the kids. After Edmund injured his leg, his opponent could have begun celebrating victory, but instead, Dimitrov rushed to help. Jimmy Johnson's car crashed, and he had no idea how to get through the 4-kilometer track to reach the starting line safely, until his friend Dale Earnhardt Jr. went out of his way to give him a lift. Now, watch as Nelson Piquet does the same for his opponents back in 1986. It's been over 35 years, and there are still drivers just as cool. Robbie Heil dreamed of playing on a football team, but his opportunities were limited because of his Down syndrome. Until this day. The team gave Robbie a chance, and he scored a touchdown, all for his mom, who was fighting cancer. It's been 70 years since 89-year-old veteran Brian Sperry played football on a college campus. But today, thanks to students at the University of Kansas, he's back on the field to make the most satisfying run in for a touchdown. This ball boy was terrified of the aggressive fans behind him, but Romero Regales immediately stepped in to help the young man. This 5-year-old Messi fan's family was so poor that their son had to make his own jersey from a bag. Imagine his surprise when the famous soccer player sent him a gift so that he could walk out on the field with him. 11-year-old Lily Stauffer spent a year and a half drawing Bucks player Giannis, and she kept the drawings in the hope of seeing her idol in person someday. And this is how the basketball player reacted to the little fan's gift. But that isn't this giant's only kind gesture. That girl will be talking about this gift for the rest of her life. On his second attempt, Kamaru Usman was finally able to win the UFC title from Tyron Woodley. Upon seeing how emotional he was, his opponent's mother unexpectedly came to encourage and support the winner.
It's all good, honey. It's your turn. It ain't his time. It's your turn. Be encouraged.
Racer Jeremy Durst lost control of his bike right after the race began. His fall scared his girlfriend, so she rushed over to him. But it turned out that this was all part of his plan to ask the most important question of his life. Hehe Eustáquio lost a fight and knelt before his opponent to acknowledge defeat, but he certainly wasn't expecting a mutual reaction from Adriano Moraes. For these two, mutual respect is more important than victory. No matter how famous Ronaldo is, he's always a beloved son to his mother, first and foremost. A goal dedicated to her was the best show of gratitude he could offer. Just look at how proud of him she is. Fourth grader Braden Vasco lost his hair after chemotherapy and was depressed about his appearance. But then, the school's entire football team supported him in a very touching way. For these children who can't walk, players from the best teams in the world put on special equipment to help them feel what it's like to play soccer. Their steps became a child's steps, and each goal took on a special meaning. Two opposing teams stopped their game to help push a fire truck back onto the road. How can a competition matter when there are people who need help? When Sarah Tucholsky lost her leg while running the bases, it was game over for her. But her opponents refused to accept her defeat and carried her through each of the remaining bases in their arms. Steven Adams had a great opportunity to score a goal for his team, but instead he tended to his opponent and saved him from serious injury. This is the real goal of being an athlete. When Christian Eriksen began having a seizure during Euro 2020, all the players were shocked. The best they could do was to close him off from the public and calm his wife. Thanks to their efforts, doctors were able to focus on helping him, and everything worked out in the end. A Muslim soccer player lost her hijab during a struggle for the ball, something her opponents could have taken advantage of. But here's what they did instead. While this guy decided to lash out emotionally after losing a game, the player on his team showed him that you can lose and still remain a person. A huge fan of the New York Rangers, young Emma Larson has had to battle through adversity throughout her life. So the team decided to make her life a celebration, at least for one day. This kind of injury can ruin a runner's career forever, but this woman decided to fight to the end. And then her opponents did everything they could to support her. No one was expecting a professional artistic swimmer to lose consciousness during a performance, but Anita Alvarez's coach was ready for anything and immediately dived in to save the young woman. Now she's perfectly fine. All this player cared about after a collision on the field was the well-being of his opponent, and the help he rendered literally saved the man's life. The sudden death of Diego Maradona was an unbearable loss for millions of fans around the world. And now, the most devoted of them, his daughter Dalma, is watching the game for the first time without a father. The tribute to him is simply impossible to watch without crying. This dance could have been the last for this couple. But everything worked out, and we will see them on the ice again. And that was the last of our greatest moments of respect in sports for today. Be sure to tell us in the comments which moment touched you the most. And if you find it hard to just choose one, subscribe and like this video. That way we know you want to see more. See you soon.